Welcome to Conflicting Dynasties. On the left, we got Badmojojojo playing the Aggro Lions, and on the right, we got Kiramode playing a Voltron Dragon deck. And then this one, we got a little bit different honor counters. Hopefully, people can actually see these ones. And we skipped past the mulligan phase because we learned that the mulligan is done in secret and not face up. So we just figured we just zoom past all that.
It's a secret.
And then Badmojojojo, he won the flip, so he gets to go first.
That's what the eagle in the top corner of my playmat is. So the big dice represent the honor bid, and the little dice are our total honor count. And both of these decks were made by Kiramode. He was very successful with the Lion when we tried a couple of games. So successful, in fact, that we didn't even record them. They were only like 15, 20-minute videos. I conceded so fast.
Yeah, I think that deck, so like prior to this game, I played it like 5 times, and I think it went 4-1, and the 4 games it won was just complete steamrolls, and the 1 game it lost was that one that I still kicked myself over, where I somehow had like 10 political attack and swung into a 4 shame in the dumbest way possible, and then didn't break the province, and that ended up costing the game.
Yeah, I'm playing the Lion almost mindlessly. There's no tricks, really. Without the Stronghold, not Stronghold, but the Dynasty card that is unique to the Lions, the Staging Ground, it's hard for them to really flood the field with units.
Yeah, I mean, you still get 4 guys. I probably would have thrown a Fate on the Historian just because she's really, really good and she's worth keeping around. The Steadfast Samurai will likely stay around, so if you could throw any attachment on him, he's worth keeping. And the key with the Lion deck is you need to draw cards. I think the trap with this sort of deck is you just start bidding 1 each time. You kind of need to just make sure you have more honor than your opponent, and if you have a Steadfast Samurai, then maybe you try to, be at 5 or more. So currently Badmojojojo's up 5 because he underbid me by 2. So the 2 honor swing plus the 1 natural honor that he has more allows him to have more guys.
Little guy's going to stay in play for a turn. So I've got more guys, but he has the Niten Master, which is guaranteed to pretty much participate in every battle as long as he has attachments to toss on there.
Yeah, so yeah,
weapon attachments.
I know my first hand had no weapons, so I was like, crap, okay. Because I'm splashing in Lion for the Honored Blades.
Is that why you drew 5 cards?
Yeah, I mean, against Lion, I think the typical move would be to bid 3, right? Because the Lion player's probably bidding 1 in the first round, so if you give up 2 honor, it's not a big deal. But I just felt like I need weapons, so I'm going to max draw, and then I'll just start min drawing if you decide to min draw from there on out. The first attack with Lion's always easily telegraphed. It's just you send in the military guys and you go break something, and hopefully you have For Greater Glory, because that's the key card. For Greater Glory and the Staging Ground are the gas of the deck, and you need a hard mulligan for both of those. So swings in with the 3. Looks like you got, I flip into the Ancestral Lands, so it's a 5 health province, and its ability is it gets +5 attack against political. Not a problem for Lions. So I don't know, Badmojo, if you were in my position, would you even consider blocking?
No. I don't even think you do block here, but my thought, the reason I chose the Fire Ring is I can't void him out for more than 1 turn, so I figure if I can dishonor him while he sticks around, he's not going to be as much of an issue.
Yeah, if you dishonor the Niten Master, you're presuming that he lives all 3 turns that he intends to live. You're getting -6 stats, whatever is the primary stat. So that's actually not a bad play. I think if I have, like, let's say I have, 2 fine katanas and an honored blade in hand, then I probably block, like, at least keep you honest, force you to maybe burn a pump or something. But in this situation, it's like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, you didn't block, and I end up dishonoring your guy here. I don't know. In the long view of this game, I don't know if I should have chosen Void if that 1 extra turn would have made a difference to get rid of him.
Possibly. I remember the Dishonor was a bitch to deal with for the whole time. And you got the money card. So, For Greater Glory, keeps your dudes around. So, like, the Steadfast Samurai staying around an extra turn, not a big deal. The Berserkers, those are a big deal, because when those guys attack, they're effectively 4 attack, because you're going to be using your Stronghold. So they're like, just 2 of those is a pretty big threat to break provinces. You throw them with anything else, and you're just going to keep, like, feasting. And, I mean, that's what the Weenie Swarm does. I mean, like, you have more guys than me on the first turn, and you're going to have more guys than me guaranteed the second turn before we even start playing guys.
Yeah, for greater glory,
it's brutal.
That's what runs the Lion deck. That and the... I always forget the name of this thing.
Staging Ground.
Staging Ground.
For greater glory, when you get an extra fate on Toturi, that just feels mean, because he's the clan champion. He shouldn't be getting extra fate just hanging around. Alright, so I swing in here, military water, and the sole purpose of this attack is I want to break the province, obviously, like just like anybody else, but I really want to get that historian out of the way, because she's going to be at 4 political strength coming in to try to lay waste to stuff. So I don't want her making my life more difficult than it needs to be.
I decided to block against this, thinking, hey, if you're going to bow her anyway, I might as well toss her in. And she can, just by participating, get a thing, right?
Yeah, anytime she's in an engagement, she can, as an action, honor herself, provided that you're more honorable.
Yeah, Venerable Historian, yep. Yeah. She can take an action to honor herself.
Yeah, and the beauty of her is that, unlike the Steadfast Samurai, there's no... You don't have to be up by 5, right? Being up by 5 means you have to make significant card sacrifices. Venerable Historian, as long as you don't get underbid by your opponent on the first turn, you're going to have her around. You know, and then she's like a 2 mana coming in with 4. That's why I think you should have had that fate on her. So, I mean, I'm assuming you started off...
Wait, how would I have put it on her?
Well, when you initially played her, you could have thrown an extra fate on her. You decided to keep...
pay. You mean pay for the fate. Okay.
Yeah. You decided to keep it back to have this dude out there, which, I mean, that's reasonable, too. Like, the Wanderer is a justifiable play, because, you know, then you can just swing in uncontested.
Now I can actually block.
Yeah. So that's the question, right? What's more valuable? Keeping around the Historian for an extra turn, or having a blocker? And the blocker is relevant. I had to actually try to break stuff now.
You play a Banzai, and it's not looking good for me, so I play a Banzai. Yeah. There's lots of trees growing around here.
I forget which... I think the province you have there... Is it the... Which one is it?
That's the Pilgrimage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll make sense. If it's Pilgrimage, that means...
You really want to break this
You have to break it to do anything.
So you put a cheap...
I put the Daimyo's Favor. Daimyo's Favor. The idea here is I really need enhancements on my guy. Now, I do make a mistake here in that attachments. So I put the Ornate Fan on him as well. And the reason for that is I just need to give him that +2 military pump via the Stronghold.
Yeah, I thought the Stronghold could get up to 3 military and political based on...
It's not 1 per each one. It's you either get 1 if you have 1 enhancements, or if you have at least 2, then you get 2.
And he only unbows when he has a weapon attachment put on.
Yeah. So I had to find Katana in hand, and I just didn't want to burn it too early. But I think I still have to burn it here.
Yeah, you played a let go on my Find Katana. Because I was matching you card for card. But your let go puts you over the top.
Yeah, so I'm currently winning right now, but it's not enough to break the province.
So you put the Find Katana on your guy.
Yeah, and that's the mistake of putting the Ornate Fan on there. So, like, if I'm going to play the Find Katana anyways, because I'm trying to break the province, well, don't throw the Ornate Fan, because the Ornate Fan doesn't do anything. It's just a political card.
Well, now you can ready him up and attack political.
Yeah, but you still want to save it, because you never know what's going to happen.
Shameful Display.
There we go.
That's how your guy got dishonored?
No, he got dishonored through the ring. That was the same way you didn't trigger it, though. Like, there's no point in triggering, because my guy's already dishonored. You're not about to dishonor your own guy to honor my guy.
Right. but
So
my character didn't get...
Yeah, she didn't get bowed because you had a ready for battle.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and that's just a phenomenal card as is. So it keeps her around.
Is that the pilgrimage that you flipped up?
Yes, I flipped a pilgrimage here after you went void.
So you got a pilgrimage, and I went void political.
So you did attempt to go void. You know, it's just
yeah.
You know, when
I mean, out of all the ring choices here.
Well, so no, you were questioning last turn, should I have gone fire or void? I think that was the right choice you made because you can, knowing that you have a ready for battle in hand means you can't lock out the historian. The historian's going to come in and is going to be able to void out. You know, barring either pilgrimage or what's it called, elemental fury.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't. It's going to be 50-50, or in this case, it'd be 66% after the other one's already revealed. But it's like a reasonable enough play.
So I'm honoring my Venerable Historian. Did you block with the Shigenja?
No. So what I'm gambling here is that you don't have an Ornate Fan in your hand.
Ah, the gamble. You're a gambling man. I won the ring. Take a token off of the Niten Master. But I do not break the province. And I think that was pretty huge.
Well, so the Niten Master didn't lose a fate. Because the pilgrimage
that's right. Okay.
So you still get the ring, so it puts you...
I would have chosen, obviously.
Alright, so I go Earth Ring at pilgrimage, and then it's like, alright, well, that ain't doing much. so this is where the Ornate Fan was a mistake, right? If I would have had that Ornate Fan in my hand...
You would have been able to break the pilgrimage.
Yeah, break it. But hey, you live and learn. But I do get to eliminate 2 cards out of your hand. I believe you only had 2 cards.
Yeah, so I did have 2 cards. What is that card that you played?
I played, what's it called? Spies at Court.
Neutral Spies at Court.
Yeah. I like the Spies at Court within...
Did you lose some honor there?
Yeah, I had a Dishonored guy leave play.
The Shugenja got dishonored?
Well, so that's how Spies at Court works. Like, after you win a political battle, you dishonor a participating guy, and then... your opponent discards 2 cards. But it's totally worth it because now you have no cards. You're probably going to have to, bid a little higher. Because I actually am running lower on honor than usual because I had to burn 2 honor on the on not defending. And then I burn another honor for dishonoring my own guy plus the 2 for the draw. So I'm like lower on honor than typical for this deck. And then flops come out. The flops are... Your flop's better than my flop, but my flop's not that bad. Like, I have this one dude who can duel and...
What's this guy called?
Mirumoto Raitsugu. Or Raitsugu.
Mirumoto Raitsugu. He is annoying for one-on-one duels. Because he can take a fate off or just flat out kill a guy with no fate.
Yeah, the danger with him, though, is that if you're trying to kill a guy, your opponent can try to steal a little bit of honor. So it's one of those moves that it makes a lot of sense that you have a lot of honor. If you have like a little bit of honor, you have to kind of play it carefully. But he's much better at killing like political dudes. So like the ideal situation for him is you strap him up with an attachment, get him up to 5 attack, and just like murder a political strength guy that only has like 1 military attack. And you just bid 2. So you lose like an honor and just kill a guy.
Yeah.
So when you're spamming out your board, so it's always scary, when you see Lion just pump out dudes, because even if you don't get the staging grounds, you still have Akodo Gunso. So you can just start pumping guys out. And so my plan here was you don't usually put the fate on the Otomo Courtier, but my thought was I'm probably going to get smoked this round, so I need to, for the next round, have a little bit more guys, because your guys, because you have such low hands, I'm thinking it's unlikely that you're going to draw into another copy of For Greater Glory. If you draw into another For Greater Glory, I'm probably hosed because you just have too many guys. But you're so low on cards that I don't foresee that happening. And also you bid low.
You got a warehouse or storehouse that you drew a card from?
Yeah. Always good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only way I see to draw cards besides the honor bid system.
Well, the nice thing about it is that it just, you're rarely going to play all of your cards from your Dynasty deck. So as long as you have big enough bodies to have usable stuff, then it's usually good to have in there. Or within the Lion clan, what makes it good there is that it gets itself out of the way, so it makes it so your staging grounds can pump out a little more. Plus, also, you're low bidding so much on Lion that you kind of need that extra card draw.
Yeah, I probably should have bid higher each round.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about bidding low is you limit my options. And that's the key thing with Honor. Like, Honor, as a win condition, pretty weak. But as a method to affect your opponent's actions is pretty good. So, like, the way I described it to our friend Isaac is that it's kind of like having a stack in poker. Like, in poker, you don't typically go all in. But having a big stack versus a short stack determines what types of moves you're allowed to make. And like typically having a short stack, you have to be a little more careful, versus having a big stack, you can just be reckless. So like, I think once you have this much of an honor advantage as Lion, the move is you start drawing cards, because you don't want to get into a situation where simply having less cards loses you the game,
So nobody has the Imperial favor, and you have an Otomo Courtier. I do too, and a couple of attack guys, which are these guys.
Now, 4 of your dudes straight up can't block political.
Yeah.
So, I'm
Seppun Guardsmen.
Yeah, I'm definitely swinging in political. The question is, how many guys do I send in? Because I need to send in enough to threaten to break the province. Because
you only broke one province so far.
Yeah, well, so what I want to do is, like, I'm kind of scared of you coming around and, like, because you're gonna break a military one, right? That's happening. It's like, but you have enough political out there that you could conceivably break a political province as well. So I want to kind of try to bait out some stuff.
And I left the ring as is.
Yes.
My plan was, okay, he's trying to get rid of cards in my hand. I'm going to play these cards before this ring effect goes off, so I don't really care that he chose this ring.
Yeah, that was a pretty sneaky move, because when you said leave the ring there, I'm like, this guy dumb? Why is he... like, he only has 2 cards. You can't... So, like, normally, like, I think in, like, the Crane versus Dragon matchup, the Earth Ring is pretty bad, because both players just have too many cards. You're unlikely to discard anything super valuable from your opponent. But whenever you're playing against Lion, and Lion's doing the whole low bidding thing, all of a sudden the Earth Ring is really impactful just for the discard, just to, like, keep your options low and give myself a better chance of not being up against For Greater Glory. Because the For Greater Glory here is just disastrous.
Yeah, one of the cards I have in my hand requires a Courtier to be involved. And I decided to block with the Courtier so I can trigger the card. And the Otomo Courtier is going to be my lonely, lonely defender.
Yeah, Otomo Courtier is really underrated as a card, because even if your opponent has the Imperial favor, you can still defend with it, and 2 for 1 mana is pretty good stats. Like, whenever I evaluate a card, I look at what their biggest stat is, because that's the most important one. Versatility matters too, right? So, like, having a 2/2 means you can defend 2 ways, but
yeah, I'm sure they figure the cost into the effect based on their military and political combined.
But in this Lion deck in particular, you definitely want to be min-maxing. Like, it's all about having raw value on the table and out value. Because, I mean, like, if you were to just count the number of stats on the table, you have way more stats than I do.
Yeah, but based on this guy's drawback, I think that he's actually overcosted since he's neutral.
Which dude?
The Otomo Courtier. Because if you look at other cards, there's like a 3/3 for 3 with not a drawback, but a plus side to it.
Well, so you're only getting So like if you look at your 3/3, what you're paying for is versatility, but you're not looking at raw stats. Like I'd rather have 3 Otomo Courtiers than 1 3/3. The problem is you're then paying 3 cards, and it's a neutral card too, and the Courtier trait's very relevant.
Well, yeah, that's why I put it into this battle, so I could force shame you, because the force shame is coming.
Yeah, force shame. I mean, it's obviously best with Sword of Law, but it's still, if you have enough Courtiers, it's still worth putting in your deck because it's a 0-cost card that's typically going to get you at least a -2 on stats, right? Or in this case, my guy's dishonored, so you throw a force shame on him, he bows. The Niten Master that's Voltroned up.
Yeah, I was inspecting the cards, seeing if I should ditch the other card I have in my hand towards the Earth Ring, because you get to choose for the discard. But I decided to play them both.
The discard is random.
Oh,
but I mean,
what's the one that lets you choose?
That's Night Raid.
Oh.
Night Raid and the Dragon province as well.
I'm worried about that guy I was just looking at. He's got this ability to duel and kill.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous. He's
not. Oh,
not.
So I play Force Shame, and you ready your guy. You choose to bow him and then ready him up.
Yeah, I had a kind of unfortunate situation where I had 3 ready for battles in hand, which normally is great. Against Lion, not so great. You know.
Well, I decided to put the fine Katana on the little 1-drop guy.
Steadfast Samurai. Well, he ain't dying, you know. So.
Yeah. Steadfast Samurai is not going away this entire game unless you discard him with your military guy.
Yeah, so the other thing I like about this Lion Weenie Swarm is that it's largely immune to control effects. You know, because, take for example, I have my Duelist. He's not killing Doji Hataru. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna get that massive value from killing someone. He's gonna kill one of the Berserkers, you know, or some other scrub. And when you're not getting him for the big value, he's not as relevant. So in this situation, I needed to get a little bit of extra juice to break the province. So I played the Tattooed Wanderer.
Why wouldn't you kill Doji?
No, what I'm saying is against a Crane deck, he could potentially kill Doji Hataru, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you said he couldn't.
Yeah, so like
he might not be able to kill Akodo, but he can definitely kill Doji.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like against Crane, he has massive potential. Just the threat of him being on the board affects how people play. Lions don't really care for him. Like Lions can look and say, okay, he's going to kill my biggest guy, whatever. I have these other guys, and you can mathematically determine how to play, and then you can oftentimes even undershoot your own math a little just because you know they're going to be too scared to block. So he's not quite as valuable, but you play what you have. And in this situation, it's like that's just what I happen to flip into. So the reason that the Niten Master untapped was I first bowed the attachment that reduces the cost of the next attachment, and then I played an Honored Blade on him, and whenever you attach a weapon to the Niten Master, he unbows or readies himself. Now, as far as I remember, I think do you actually swing in, or
no? I passed my first action. I know I need to defend because you've broken more provinces than I.
Yeah, so
and you have first player control.
Yeah, so you just don't.
You had already made your first attack, and now you have your 2 biggest guys ready for action.
So, yeah, by defending with the Otomo Courtier, you've largely given up your ability to potentially break a province with political, but you're going to get the military one way or the other.
Well, whoever has to defend first is at an immediate disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if you ever have to legitimately defend, it's kind of a problem.
I have to sacrifice one of my choices for attack just to stay alive. I'm already losing this game.
Yeah, you could conceivably swing in military and like void out someone. But you could also do that on the way back.
Why would that matter though? Then you can just make 2 attacks and win.
I mean, I already burned one of my attacks, so I only get one more attack.
Right. So what I'm saying is, let's say I go all out and I break a province, and then I get first turn again next, and then you just let it go through.
What I would have done if I were in your shoes is the Prodigy, the 2 attack political. I would have just swung with her with something, probably void, maybe fire, and the reason there would be she's not going to break the province, but she will win the ring. And so she'll affect the board, and she can flip one of the provinces.
See, the problem with that is, let's say you block with the Niten Master, and you have an attachment in your hand, you can just win the ring, drop the attachment, and you're ready for battle again.
Yeah, that's true, but ultimately I'm gonna win the favor anyways because I already have 1 ring. So if you pass your attack, you're not gonna get a ring. So I think swinging her in, I'd also have to have another attachment, which I might not have.
Sure, with your 7 cards in hand.
But like the thing is, you can force me to burn it ahead of time because if you attack in that way and force me to block, then you're keeping initiative and dictating how the game's gonna go. If you pass on your attack entirely, then you're giving the initiative to me and letting me dictate. Or I mean, at the very least, just go air, right? Get the resource. But like you can chump attack. It's better than doing no attack because it's not like the
Well, I need the guy back. So the other reason I didn't attack with him is if you choose to go a political attack.
Well, I already.
Sorry, if you choose to go military, then I block with the majority of my military guys, and then I can send my 3 remaining political characters to blow anything up. If you go all in.
Oh, so like you would try to use all your military might to defend?
Yeah, so I would block with the military, whatever I need to, and I would keep exactly four political back. And then if you exhaust all your guys, then I could send my political guys in to guarantee a breakage.
Yeah, and so the thing I know I had to decide here is I'd already seen 3 of your provinces. So I know that the last 2, one's going to be Night Raid, one's going to be the +5 defense for political. So I'm thinking worst case scenario, I discard 2 cards. Best case scenario, I'm just dealing with a 5 health province.
Yeah.
So I take air. I don't really care for the effect, but I definitely care for the resource.
There's Night Raid.
Yeah.
So I knew you would pick this. You dump some cards. You don't care.
Yeah.
Going with your 2 guys, if depending on what you have in your hand, I block with like 10 military defense. So I'm okay with you getting the ring. I just don't want you to break the province.
Yeah, so this is a question of like how many pumps do I have? Because I'm currently showing.
It's not even the pumps that are bad. It's something else that you're withholding.
Like the duel. Because I remember I duel one of the guys.
Don't you play a card here?
Because I'm showing 10 effectively. So because I have 5.
Yeah, once you bail your stronghold.
And then it's a question of like what pumps do I have versus what pumps do you have? Actually, you don't have any cards now that I think about it. So.
No, I have no cards. No tricks. Lion has no tricks.
Yeah, I think I would throw just enough that I'd force, like if I were in your shoes, I'd throw just enough to force the opponent to burn 1 card from their hand. Unless you believe you can actually stop the attack entirely from breaking the province.
No, I pulled this guy back because I didn't want you to kill him with your what's that samurai?
Raitsugu. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I do have a weapon that I didn't want to play the other weapon on the Niten Master. I want to play it on Raitsugu because that way this dude can what's it called? He can have a little bit more attack and kill whoever he wants.
So I choose to keep just the Berserkers and the
the
Seppun Guardsmen
Yeah.
in the battle, because both of them have dashes for political, are only good for military, and I figure I can stop you without, unless you pull out some weird tricks. And then go in with the 4 political to break a province.
Yeah, so I slipped the Honored Blade on him. So I'm going to end up picking up 4 honor off this attack because I'm definitely winning. You know, so I get 2 from the air, 2 from the Honored Blades. That's like
2 from the Honored Blade?
Well, 1 from each one.
Oh, they both have an Honored Blade.
Yeah, so it'll help me like draw more cards, which is nice. So I decide to pump up Raitsugu.
Why?
The reason here is I only needed a +1 pump because he had no cards, right? So I needed to win by exactly 4. And with the way the math worked out, I could pump either one of them, but I'd rather pump him just because that way I can bid lower to automatically win the duel.
Okay.
So
so now that we're doing the honor bid, I took 2 honor from him.
Yeah.
And I totally didn't realize he had 2 honored blades. And I see that he's gone down to 3 honor total. And immediately I'm like, oh my god, there might be a possibility we're going to see an honor death. Oh, it's going to be interesting. But of course, that's too much to ask for.
Yeah, so me being the fantastic player that I am, I forgot to trigger both my honored blades.
So, well, no, you did, because you went down to 3, and you went up to... Oh, but you got the honor from the... Oh.
I got the air ring.
Okay.
I mean, the air ring, again, I didn't care for the effect. It's just, I need this extra resource.
Okay, so here's my last-ditch effort. I'm going to send all my guys in. You've already shown the 5... your 5-drop. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the 4 cost. And it's Shameful Display. You've got no defenders, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. I'll get this one. And
yeah, so this is...
Of course, Shameful Display, still winning games.
Yes, so the natural instinct here is to dishonor the guy that you know is going to live until the end of the turn. So my thought here was like, okay, I dishonor your guy that's going to stick around for a turn and honor the guy who's going to honor himself anyway, so you don't get any bonuses. And then I'm like, wait, hold on a sec. I might be able to actually stop the attack here. Because, and this is where attacking with the Prodigy last turn would have been relevant. Because if you reveal the province, then you know you're not going to attack it next time.
Well, if I revealed it, I would have attacked it again, but with one solo guy that's got 3.
Yeah, because let's say you send the Prodigy to go swing in, I could block with my Niten Master and then free him up with the Honored Blade. But then I'm not getting that value out of the Honored Blade, so I probably just actually have to let him walk.
So you play the old switcheroo, because the glory is higher on the... What's that, the Berserker?
The Gunso.
Akodo Gunso.
Yeah, the reasoning here was I want to actually just bow your Steadfast Samurai. Like, that's the real key. Because I want to pump up one of your guys as big as possible and get him out of the way. Because now you're down to... Your Gunso and your Prodigy both have 0 attack.
Yeah,
they get one
Fury
clutch. And that's why I needed the resource. You know, like I needed the resource because I knew I had both the Honored Blade and the Fury in hand. And it's like I need that extra fate to be able to do what I need to do. But yeah, it saves a province. And this is really where defense is key. Like, games are largely decided on defense, not by defending, right? Like, you can't really play defensively, but just putting enough tricks to mess up attacks.
This is where Gunso should have been honored to get back to neutral.
Yes, I make sure to remind you, like, hey, he's honored when he honors himself for winning, and then I
dishonored yourself for that guy leaving.
Yeah, and it looks like I forgot to dishonor myself for not declaring a defender, so I should realistically be at 3.
Well, but if you had remembered to do the honor blade, you would have been back up to 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it won't ultimately matter, but
it almost did. And this game comes down really close. I think you get down to like 2 honor health.
Yeah, so like let's say I would have been down at 3. I think it impacts my draw decisions because I was looking at them. I'm like, I'm at 4. I know I can still draw cards, you know, because this is going to be the last turn. You know, you're at 3 broken provinces. I only have 1 broken province, so I only need to make 1 attack stick. But I know your what's it called? Your stronghold has 10 political health. So that's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, well, the real problem here is you actually chose 3 for your honor bid.
On the next
wait,
round.
no. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that's the previous honor.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do the honor bid here. And
so we both draw pretty much what we're looking for, right? We both get the clan champion. We both
Which I don't want.
You don't want him?
No, I want another swarm.
Oh. So if you're going for the swarm,
and of course I get staging ground on the last turn of the game.
So if your plan was to swarm, you break your storage house first, then you play your what's it called? Your Lion's Pride Brawler. Then you flip 2 cards and then you start playing.
Yeah, but I didn't have enough resources or fate to do all that fun stuff because
no. I mean you just don't play.
Yeah, I could have decided not to play the Lion's Pride Brawler.
No. What I'm saying is so instead of playing Toturi first, you trigger your action on your storehouse just to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Then you play your Brawler.
But I flip them and I get another Lion's Pride Brawler anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to get the swarm. Yeah,
I mean, and sometimes that happens, right?
So here's where the bid matters. So I bid 1 in hopes that he bids at least 3.
So I bid
he doesn't
2.
do it. He doesn't do it, so it puts him at 3. Now, I realized if he had bid 3, I would have had a chance to have Akodo Toturi go in, win a military, double ring for the air ring. And I would have won that way. Because it's an instant win, right?
Yeah. So that would have been the first time anyone ever loses by honor.
First time ever out of 20, 30 plus games.
Here's the thing, though. If I would have lost the honor and I would have been at 3 honor, I would have just bid 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like if you ever get that low, that's fine. Because the other thing is, you had, no cards in hand. And I had, I think, 3 or 4 cards. Yeah. So I'm okay banking on my card.
Well, I got 1 for the draw and 1 for the storehouse.
Yeah. Then
I think I spent every turn at 2 cards.
Yeah, and that's one of the dangers with Lion. If you're too conservative on your draw bids, I mean you can have a really big honor advantage, but it doesn't mean anything if you run out of cards and you can't do tricks. The previous turn you ran out of cards and it was oh, okay, so I know exactly how much I have to put in this battle to ensure that I break the province exactly. Whereas if you have even 1 card, I have to maybe reconsider my actions.
So I can't win by air ring. My 2 options, the best 2 options I have, both have a fate on them, and that's either is it water at the bottom?
Yeah, that's water. So
water, and the one at the top is dishonored, the fire ring. So I could try to dishonor his 2 biggest guys to knock them down. That's your champion and your military killer. Or I can try to water ring 2 of the guys to be bowed.
Yeah, and that's the move. If you water ring and then you brawler, you can clear out a lot of the board. I mean, here's the thing. I could always have another ready for battle. But the thing is, you're losing, right? You're down 3-1. You have to play to your outs. You're going to be heavy underdog regardless. So I do remember you made a mistake here, which is that I have 3 provinces flipped up and none of them are Elemental Fury. And we both know how good Elemental Fury is to be played, and there's no way that's underneath my stronghold. So if you swing into the unknown...
Okay, I have played Elemental Fury underneath my stronghold. Kiramode has not. Ever. So that's Kiramode's thing. But I didn't know that. And also, if I go Shameful Display, I don't win. If I go against Pilgrimage and you defend, I don't win. So it's a no-win situation. There's literally no way for Lion to win. Well, we ran out of scenario. This video is going to end in 2 minutes or less than a minute. Sorry, and I concede the game and we quit. But we play out a sample scenario of what would happen if Elemental Fury did not flip or did not change the ring, and there's still no result. The Dragon Clan still wins.
Yeah, well, this comes down to playing to your outs, right? So if I play correctly, you can't win. But if you swing in Toturi and you swing in the Brawler and you go at Pilgrimage, you have a route to victory. Now, I have to choose to defend incorrectly, and I have to not have a ready for battle.
Yeah, that's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, but again, you're down 3-1, right? Like when you're
right,
down 3-1,
so I lost.
You play to your routes, and so that's the point of pointing out the mistake, which is that like
there is no mistake though. The whole game was like a losing scenario.
Well, but like you swung at the unknown with fire, like that's not gonna hack it. You need to go water.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to upload some images for this video, and if you have any other recommendations or stuff else you want to see, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time for another Conflicting Dynasties, where I strangle the Dragon Clan and hope they throw